Coming up on this episode of Student DV, we're going to find out what every kindergartner should know, how budget cuts are affecting our schools, and what it's like to be a school administrator. All this and more on this episode of Student DV.
I'm Danny Finnenberg. Today is Thursday.
When I was in high school, we usually did mechanical and iron.
If you don't have a lock on you,
More information.
The ages. Were we originally set out to?
every second of the day.
What'd you call Fred today?
Welcome to Student DV. I'm Sam Spinner. First up, we have a video to teach us everything a kindergartner ought to know. We have student producer William Graves here to tell us what the hardest part of making his video was.
Well, the acting part was a little bit hard because I kept forgetting what I was going to say, and that video took a few days to make because we made a lot of duds.
Don't cut your hair or your shirt with the scissors. You can't rhyme things with markers. You gotta learn how to count to 20 or 100. Don't put glue on somebody else's chair. You can't cut other people in line.
Line up, children.
No. Go to the end. Go to the end. Good luck.
You're in a hurry to get to your next class, and all you need is that one binder. But when you open your locker, it's a wreck. Papers and books and folders everywhere. It's 2 minutes until class starts, and what can you do? Student producer Clifford Stahl is here with the answer.
Well, we showed how to clean and organize, as in you need to keep a locker clean when you're at school. You need to have an organized space so when you're in a hurry, you can just grab your stuff and go. And that was the whole point.
Is your locker messy and unorganized? Let's fix it. Step 1. Empty your locker. Take everything out and organize it. Step 2. Throw away the trash. If you have any loose papers or garbage, make sure to toss it. Step 3. Put everything back. Start with heavier things like books on the bottom and work your way up to lighter pencil bags and backpacks. Don't forget to lock your locker.
It can't be easy being a school administrator. There are so many kids and teachers to oversee. It's hard to imagine what that job must be like, but today you don't have to. The students of Center High School have made a video that shows us a day in the life of a new administrator.
A teacher is trained to be a vice principal, principal. She wants to do that, so one of her jobs is to interview or follow someone.
I see. Really? He's a really good principal.
That's going to cost me some money. Think of where you headed. Hey, how'd your new day? First day. You've only been here 2 hours. What's your favorite part of the day so far? This school? You're a pretty good kid. I'm Doug Huey. I'm Principal Global Youth. Happy to be here. Have a nice day.
My day starts about 6 in the morning. I get here pretty early. I've done that all my career, even as a teacher. I'd get to the office or a coffee shop with colleagues, and that's my downtime. I go home earlier than probably most when I wasn't coaching, but because I do my paperwork in the morning, I do meet with colleagues a lot in the morning. I see a lot of parents in the morning. It's very important to me to have a good fresh start. So if I get tired around 3 or 4, I'm here at 6. But that's the way I like it. I've always done it since I've been in education. 20 years ago, I thought I'd be a college basketball coach. I think the coaching really has helped me be here now. It's a leadership thing that I learned through coaching. I made some mistakes coaching, but I think that's really what prepared me to do this. Because you work, when you're coaching, I don't care what level, you are preparing constantly. We're dealing with game changes like you would in a school constantly. You're dealing with working with personnel every day. You're dealing with the community, which would be parents in this case. I knew coaching, I would do something like this. I didn't think I thought I'd be a principal one day.
Hey, Carver, come here, Carver. You're one of the tallest kids on campus. Come here.
He's the tallest one here.
Yeah, girl. Yes, ma'am. I blew my nose? I don't know. I'm joking.
Well, I make sure I spend most of my time with kids. I see kids in the classroom a lot, every day. And you wish that when you go to school, I'll be in the classroom every day. You can here at this site because I only have 150 students. I'm in the classroom a lot, or I'm out in the quad a lot. I'm in every activity. I am. Well, I'm the only administrator as well. What do I wish I could do more of? I guess during the day, maybe spend a little more time with teachers because they're really, especially at Global. Global only has 4 teachers and they teach everything. And right now they have no preps. They teach the whole day and they don't complain.
This is where I live, man. This is where I hang out right here. As you can see from my walls, it's not your typical office. It's my family. It's what I take most pride in, I guess. Actually, I had a girl from Global take all my pictures from the old office. We used to be up the hill. I said, hey, do something with my office, and this is what she did. So I kept it at that. It's very cool. I don't really care for the paint color, but it is what it is.
With Global Youth, it's just the everyday that I'm kind of going off topic here, but I'm very proud of the family atmosphere. You'll see that in the main office. It's 2 very different schools here. You got an office here that runs like an office, and that's fine. An office here that runs like a family. It's almost like a living room. Sometimes it drives me crazy, but sometimes, it's a family. That's what we do. Second month at Global, I had to release a math teacher. You don't usually, at a charter school, you can do this. At a public school, there's a few more steps along, a few more 1,000 steps along the way. And the beauty of this place, if it doesn't work out, you can find someone who can get it to work out. And this didn't work out with this math teacher. But I didn't expect that to happen, definitely not that quick. That happened the first 60 days I was here. So a brand new principal released a teacher in 60 days. I didn't expect that at all. Unfortunate expulsions I've had to deal with at even different sites. I remember the first one. I'll never forget this first one. This first one was at a junior high, and this girl was passing pills and selling them, and I had to expel her. And I didn't expel her, but the board did and stuff like that. And you go through that, and you don't understand at that time what you've really affected that kid's life. She made a mistake, no doubt about it, but 14 years old, you took a major option away from her. So I think about that when I would go through other expulsions and process and dealing with students, dealing with kids that are potentially getting 5-day suspensions, whatever. What is the best solution for this student at the same time being the best for the school? How you treat people is very important. There was a guy named Bob Drinkwine, yes, that was his name, Drinkwine. He was a custodian, and he came in and he couldn't pay his bills. He was our head custodian. He was behind everything. I walked in that district office once, and it was next to my office. All of Drinkwine's bills are all over John Allman's desk. And he's a superintendent. It's a weekday, 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't remember what day it was. I walk in. He is working with him and how to budget his bills. That, you can't teach that. They're like, are you the right person for the job? Am I prepared? And you're never fully prepared, never. You got to be able to roll the punches. You call it counter punch. You got to be able to have your door open. You got to talk to parents. You got to listen to staff. That's probably the first worries. Are you good enough? Are you good enough? And it takes a lot of time, and you're gonna fail a few times, but you gotta keep plugging along. Most administrators, I do believe, pretty effective teachers, and if they're not, they better hang out with pretty effective teachers. Spend a lot of time listening, get out in the community, listen to parents. I know you gotta listen to everybody who walks through your door, and sometimes you don't want to, but you have to do that. Take pieces along the way. I've had principals. Mr. Jordan taught me family first, no doubt about that. Mr. Allman taught me how to listen. Mr. Cloney taught me how, he was a backup counselor, now a superintendent. He taught me the counseling aspect of this. You pick up these things along the way. You don't just get this overnight. There's some fabulous people that know how to work with kids and know how to work with kids.
We adjust, man. Sometimes you gotta adjust. Sometimes you have to adjust.
Yes.
Who needs Field of Dreams, man? You got Field of Global.
Have you ever considered being a teacher's assistant? It might sound hard, but being a TA can be lots of fun. The students of Toby Johnson Middle School have made a video to tell us about it, and student producer Jacob Flores is here to talk about his video.
With the TA News package, I learned a bunch of stuff I didn't know about what other TAs do, what they do in their free time, and kind of what the selection is on how to become a TA. Yeah, I think video is a very powerful tool. You can tell somebody about something, but to have a lasting effect on them, you have to have video. Here at Toby Johnson Middle School, there's plenty of enrichment classes, but then there's one special enrichment class that only a selective few can have, and that's being a TA. If you don't know what a TA is, it's a teacher's assistant. You can only TA once per school year. Being a TA can be fun depending on what you have to do.
Being a TA is really fun.
It's fun. It's really fun.
It's really fun.
It's fun.
So it may be always fun, but it's not the same for all TAs. One class may be running errands, while the other is finishing a project.
I run errands. I would normally help out or clean for my teacher that I'm helping out, or I would either help out other teachers too when they need help and my teacher doesn't need help.
We make copies, print things, and grade assignments.
You check mail every day, and you also correct their homework and other assignments.
The work isn't hard as long as you understand what you're doing.
But that's only what the students think. For the teachers who have TAs,
they are awesome. I have had great TAs for the 8 years that I've been at Toby Johnson.
Being a TA helps you be more responsible and helps your teacher get all of their work done. But if you do want to be one, choose your teacher quickly and turn in your form before it's too late. Reporting for TJ TV, I'm Jacob Flores, now back to you.
We all know hats are cool, but they don't belong in school. I made a video about this issue on our campus. Here's an interview with me. Let's check out me as an 8th grader.
So we were actually talking about paintball, our group, the day of, and we thought, why not have a paintball gun that knocks hats off kids' heads, because there shouldn't be hats on campus, that's one of the school rules. But then instead of a paintball gun, we actually made a little air dart thing out of PVC to use as a prop, and it just took off from there.
Are you tired of hat-wearing hooligans on your campus? Well, the HR2000 is the product for you. The HR2000 delivers a small, soft foam pellet, only strong enough to knock off a hat, not to injure any students. The HR2000 has an incredible range of 33 yards. Let's hear what this middle school vice principal has to say on the HR2000.
Kids used to wear hats around the school, until I got the HR2000.
Call 1-555-867-5309.
No hats were harmed in the making of this film. Sometimes it's hard to figure out how to sit properly in class. Well, lucky for us, the students of John Ehrhardt Elementary are back with some valuable information on the topic.
I bet you think that the way you sit is not important, but in kindergarten, it is. this side sit. Our teacher lets us sit this way when there's a small group of us playing games. The crisscross sit. This position is important when our teacher wants our attention, but there's not a lot of room. The long sit. We can relax in this position while our teacher reads a book to us. Now I've shown you the different positions, and when you visit our class, you can watch the way you sit.
It's hard to balance school, work, and play, but it's important to study and get good grades. And we have a PSA from Winston Churchill Middle School about the importance of studying. Student producer Hannah Broadland told us more about her video.
Work Harder is a song that we wrote the lyrics to over a song by Kid Cudi that we all liked. And it's about working harder in school. Like studying and like how to study and what not to do.
I know I don't study, but I really should. I don't want to be a bad student anymore.
I gotta work harder, have to do my best.
That's gonna be my quest. Yeah, a couple days of study and I ace my test. It makes me feel so proud. Listen, you gotta study, gotta work, 'cause it will pay off. This I assure to you. Open up your textbook and read it. Make your study notes and don't quit.
We've all heard about the school budget cuts that have happened in recent years, but what effect are they having on our schools? Student producer Kay Huwin is here to talk about it.
The video is about it's telling people how school budget cuts have really impacted schools and classes that students take and how teachers have really learned to deal with them and stuff like that. School budget cuts have affected many schools all over California, causing teachers and students everywhere to change how they manage their supplies and materials.
I think a lot of us work really hard to try to keep students from feeling budget cuts.
It's impacted everyone's class here in many ways.
Donna LaChapelle teaches a video productions class in Toby Johnson Middle School. Kids in her class need special equipment and training to be able to participate.
Budgets in the classroom, I think, have always been small, ever since I started teaching, but they're extremely small this year. Having money just to replace basic things that break, it's really quite a strain.
Toby Johnson has also experienced many cuts in their budget in other departments.
I think it makes teaching more challenging.
Rebecca Rosso runs a leadership class that supports the whole school's activities. Her class needs materials and crafts to be able to function correctly.
It's hard to run out of things like glue and paper and things like that.
Printing has really become difficult.
From the outside, schools such as Toby Johnson seem to be doing well, but when you take a step inside, reality hits and budget cuts take their toll.
I think it's just going to get worse and worse as time goes on.
This is Kay Huynh reporting for TJTV.
I think everyone can agree that middle school's pretty hard. After weathering that storm, high school might seem like a breeze. Student producer Faith Martinez had some ideas about how to get through middle school and about the power of video.
Well, in our video we have I think 4 or 5 topics and just tips on middle school in general. I think video is a really powerful tool because, like they say, the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, you can write something down, but you don't hear the emotion behind it. And when you're in a video, you can show that with someone speaking, you can show that with visual things, with music, you can show all of that. And it combines, and it's really powerful.
If you're in middle school, do you struggle? Do you feel stressed or overwhelmed?
Going to school with grouchy teachers, trying to fit in, being part of the social world, and plenty of homework is too much for one person to handle.
always gonna have a teacher you don't like. Just do what she tells you to do. Nothing more, nothing less. But don't become the problem.
To deal with the teachers that you don't like and that they aren't very good is you always make sure you have study buddies so that when you have a bad teacher who you don't know what to do, you always have your friends to rely on.
Be social. Just know what your limit is, but you can still spend time with your friends.
Deal with the social life pressures and schoolwork and sports. You have to, when you have sports or a social event, you need to not procrastinate and get things done before you have the time to hang out with people. And once you get the schoolwork first, and you don't procrastinate, you have the whole more time to do whatever.
Have a get it done attitude. And power through your work. Don't have distractions, it will take forever to finish.
Deal with people who aren't the nicest. You just have to act like it doesn't bug you and don't respond. Because if you're being the bigger person, they don't get any benefit from that. And act like it doesn't bug you because they'll stop when they don't get any joy from that.
Even if things get crazy, just remember to keep going. Just keep a calm mind and things will be fine.
It's a mayhem in a school locker room, but that doesn't mean you can leave your stuff lying around in your locker open. Student producer and my personal friend Kevin Grush is here with some advice on the matter.
Locker room mayhem is basically about teaching students to put a lock on their locker and the importance of that. Because if you don't have a lock on your locker, many things can happen. People can go through your stuff and they can steal your cell phones, PE clothes, normal clothes, and that's never fun. Yeah, my friend Sam, who actually worked on the video with me last year, he put all of his stuff in my locker because he forgot his lock. And then one thing he forgot to put in my locker was his cell phone, and that got stolen. So it doesn't happen very often, but the one time you forget it is the one time it's going to happen.
Hi, I'm a big mean 8th grader. And my mom robbed a bank last night using my PE clothes. So I don't have my PE clothes, and I'm going to take yours. So if you don't have a lock on your locker, you can be paying for these yourself. So put a lock on your locker. Better protect it from people like me.
You have to say action. Action. So I made a video about Caitlin Stringer. Hi, my name is Caitlin Stringer, and this is my story. I am 16 years old, and I live in Elk Grove, California. So I just thought I could just show the audience how beautiful she was as a person inside and out. And she's just awesome, and she's like one of my closest friends. And so I just really wanted to convey how just kids and just people with disabilities in general are just normal people. There has been some people in the past that really judge the kids on our campus that have Down syndrome or autism or any other kind of disability, and I just wanted to show them like it doesn't make you not cool, it doesn't make you not popular. I love showing people like just messages and just kind of using that as a different medium towards like expressing what I love to do and expressing just my feelings and emotions. So I feel if I just convey like what I feel about kids with disabilities, other people will inherit what I feel and they'll immediately just gain respect for other people as well.
That's all for this episode. If you would like to get your video on Student TV, you just need to enter it into the SEVAs, the Student Educational Video Awards. Entries are due in March, and each year you can find out more information about the SEVAs and Student TV on the SECC website, secctv.org. See you next time on Student TV.